In the year 2025, a new Indonesian horror movie brings pure terror. This story mixes Southeast Asian traditions with dark horror elements. It is based on a curse from Java Island, a story that shows what real fear feels like deep inside your soul. The story begins in the year 1970 in a small village in Indonesia. A young boy named Xiao Di is suffering from a serious kidney disease and urgently needs surgery. His father somehow manages to collect the money and rushes him to the hospital. The surgery is successful, but something unexpected happens. It unknowingly opens Xiao Di's third eye, and from that very day, strange and terrifying events begin. Xiao Di's father runs a small grocery shop in the village. One evening, while closing the shop, he notices something wrapped in a white cloth at the entrance. When he opens it, he realizes it is not normal at all. It is actually an object used to spread a curse. He immediately suspects the shop owner across the street, named Vic. Since the day Xiao Di's shop opened, Vic's business had been going down badly, so it seemed possible that he was taking revenge. Thinking this, the father quickly throws the object into the trash, but as soon as he sits in his car, he suddenly feels a heavy weight on his shoulder, as if something invisible is sitting on him. When he returns home, Xiao Di just looks at him once and suddenly becomes extremely terrified. He runs to his mother and keeps saying, "There is a ghost inside the house." Seeing this, the father quickly calls a shaman. The shaman immediately understands the situation. He says that Xiao Di's third eye has been opened, which is why he can see things that normal people cannot. The shaman explains that the third eye cannot be fully closed, but its power can be reduced. After that, Xiao Di will only see those spirits that choose to show themselves. But he gives a serious warning. Always stay away from crowded markets, because such places are full of lies and deception, and they easily attract evil spirits. Time passes, and the story moves to the year 1983. Now Xiao Di has grown up. One day, he goes to the market to take money from his father for his school fees, but what he sees there shakes him completely. Terrified, he runs straight to his father's shop. After hearing that his son has come, the father goes alone into a room to get the money. But strangely, he tells Xiao Di to stay far away from the door, as if he is hiding something. That room clearly wasn't normal. After getting the money, Xiao Di doesn't think much about it. He happily sits outside on the street, but as soon as he looks up, his heart nearly stops. Everywhere around him, there are countless spirits standing. Terrified, he immediately runs away from there. That night, while returning home from work, his father sees a black bag. He opens it. Inside, there is something like a dark, empty hole. And at the same time, he hears a woman crying near his ear. As the sound comes closer, he gets scared and quickly runs back to his car. Suddenly, the car starts shaking violently, but the crying voice still echoes around him. Realizing he cannot escape, the father gathers courage, steps out, and throws the black bag into the trash. And from that exact moment, his real nightmare begins. After returning home, he goes to sleep early, but in his dream, he finds himself inside a dark forest. His body is floating in the air, and in front of him, there is a witch performing a strange ritual. As she chants something, his body suddenly starts twisting in a horrifying way. Hearing some strange noise, Xiao Di comes to check, but he doesn't see anything unusual. What he doesn't know is, the moment he leaves, a ghostly hand suddenly appears behind him. The next morning, while having breakfast, his father suddenly feels a sharp pain in his chest and immediately spits out a large amount of blood. But the most horrifying part is, the blood is full of countless worms crawling inside it. Shaking in fear, the father tries to go back to his room to rest, but after just a few steps, he collapses and faints on the spot. Xiao Di quickly rushes to help him, but he completely misses something terrifying. At that very moment, a giant shadow of a monster appears inside the room. Soon, the father is taken to the hospital, but strangely, after all the tests, the doctors find nothing wrong at all. So the question remains, if everything is normal, then why did he vomit blood and faint? After returning home, relatives and friends come to visit. Looking at his strange symptoms, they begin to suspect that he is under black magic. They suggest calling a spiritual healer, but the father immediately refuses. He says he doesn't believe in such things, yet his restless eyes seem to hide some truth. But Xiao Di, because of his third eye, is completely sure that black magic is real, and slowly, he starts suspecting his uncle. His uncle also owns a shop in the market, but unlike his father's successful business, his uncle's shop is always struggling. On top of that, their relationship is not good, so Xiao Di feels he has a strong reason for revenge. Meanwhile, one day, Xiao Di's younger brother returns home from school. Suddenly, their father's room door opens on its own. Curious, he goes closer to check, but sees nothing unusual. Just as he turns back, the main hall door suddenly opens too, and on the floor, a black package appears out of nowhere. He picks it up and is shocked to realize it looks exactly like the one their father found earlier. At that moment, a strange wind starts blowing in the yard, and the crows begin to cry loudly. That night, the younger brother suddenly gets a very high fever. Xiaodi goes to the living room to get ice for him, but suddenly notices a dark shadow quietly entering their father's room. The lights begin to flicker, and slowly the door opens again. Driven by fear and curiosity, Xiaodi walks inside, and what he sees freezes him in place. An invisible force is choking his father, and suddenly a live worm crawls out of his nose. Xiaodi quickly crushes the worm and immediately calls the police. But just after the call ends, a loud scream comes from his brother's room. He rushes there and sees his brother holding his right ear, screaming in pain. In panic, Xiaodi pulls his ear, and horrifyingly, a bone comes out from inside. Then things get even worse. His brother's eyes start bleeding, and suddenly, a piece of glass pierces his throat, cutting his body into 2 parts. His death completely breaks the family. At the funeral, villagers come to pay respects, and among them is the uncle. But as soon as Xiaodi sees him, he goes mad with anger and tries to drive him away. He is still convinced that all of this is his uncle's doing, but the nightmare is far from over. After all the suffering, the father falls into a coma-like state. Xiaodi calls the same shaman again for help. The shaman confirms that both father and son are victims of black magic, but until he knows exactly what kind of magic was used, he cannot do anything. Before leaving, he gives them some protective bracelets and says they might help protect them from danger. After the father becomes paralyzed, Xiaodi takes over the shop, but because of all the rumors spreading around, the business starts falling apart, and even the workers begin to quit one by one. That night, Xiaodi is standing at the shop entrance, calling customers, but as soon as he turns back, he freezes. Inside the shop, a woman in white clothes is standing, repeating again and again in a low voice, "I want to buy some rice," and in the very next second, she disappears. Shocked, Xiaodi runs after her, and sees that she has entered Vic's shop across the street. Behind a curtain, her shadow can be seen moving faintly. Gathering courage, Xiaodi pulls the curtain aside, but what he sees inside completely terrifies him. There is a ritual altar set up, and on it, a photo of a young girl is placed. Frightened by Vic's strange actions, Xiaodi quickly runs away. At the same time, something terrible starts happening at home. The crows in the yard begin screaming loudly, then loud banging sounds come from the roof, and suddenly, the protective bracelet given by the shaman breaks. Sensing something is wrong, Xiaodi's mother comes outside and sees a black bag lying on the ground. When she opens it, it contains the same cursed items as before. She tries to throw it away, but suddenly feels dizzy, and a strong, strange wind surrounds her. After some time, Xiaodi returns home and immediately notices the cursed object. At that very moment, his bracelet also breaks. Now he realizes something is seriously wrong. He rushes inside and sees his mother lying on the sofa with a very high fever. These are the exact same symptoms his younger brother had before he died. With no other choice, Xiaodi calls the shaman again. After hearing everything, Xiaodi becomes even more sure that his uncle is behind all of this. Filled with anger, he goes straight to confront him. But what his uncle says changes everything. His uncle claims that he never placed any curse. In fact, he was secretly protecting them all this time. And the real truth is, Xiaodi's father himself was using black magic. According to him, years ago, Xiaodi's father was cursed by someone, and because of that, his successful business suddenly collapsed. At the same time, Xiaodi needed money for surgery. Even though his father didn't believe in black magic to save his son, he secretly went to a powerful shaman for help. That shaman was extremely strong, and soon after, the shop started doing well again. In fact, he took all the customers from his competitors. The uncle warned him not to become greedy. But by then, his father was blinded by revenge and greed. Then one day, his wife was also cursed. Strangely, nails started growing inside her stomach. Luckily, the shaman managed to remove the curse and revealed that the person behind it was Vic. From that moment, Xiaodi's father was filled with rage. He decided to take revenge. That same night, Vic's daughter suddenly felt sharp pain, and within moments, a sharp object pierced her throat, killing her instantly. Even after hearing all this, Xiaodi still doesn't believe it. To find the truth, he goes with his uncle to his father's old office. There, he finds a black cabinet. When he opens it, it is filled with items used for black magic. Now, the truth is clear. Without wasting time, Xiaodi goes to find the same shaman who once helped his father. But when he reaches there, he finds the shaman paralyzed and lying on a bed. From the shaman's daughter, he learns the real horror. Vic had found an even more powerful shaman, one who came from the east. Following a dark ritual, they sacrificed souls at 7 coastal coastal locations, and in the end, they successfully summoned a terrifying demon from across the sea. This demon had the power to cross the ocean, which clearly showed how powerful it really was. Because of the backlash from this dark power, the shaman's mother became completely bedridden. After learning the truth, Xiao Di quickly goes to his uncle to find a solution, but suddenly, a flock of crows flies over their heads. Xiao Di immediately feels something is wrong and realizes his mother is in danger. He rushes back home as fast as he can, but he is too late. Right in front of his eyes, a dark shadow enters his mother's body, and in the next moment, everything is over. Seeing his mother's dead body, Xiao Di is completely broken. With no hope left, he once again goes to the shaman for help. This time, after learning the origin of the demon, the shaman finally finds a way to stop it. He tells Xiao Dai he must go to 7 beaches, the same places where Vic performed the ritual. He must collect seawater from each place, and then pour that water over his father's body. Only then can his father be purified and saved. But there is one strict condition. This must be done before his father's birthday, because once the birthday passes, a new cycle will begin, and after that, his father cannot be saved at all. Now they only have 5 days left. Xiao Di and his sister decide to go together. The shaman opens the sister's third eye as well, and soon both of them begin their dangerous journey. They reach the first coastal location, but just as Xiao Di collects the seawater and turns back, a strange man suddenly appears behind him. They panic and quickly run to their car. As they try to start it, something feels terribly wrong. But at the last moment, the car starts, and they barely escape. After that, at every location, they face a demon guarding the ritual site. Luckily, they managed to survive each time. Soon, time passes, and now it is the 4th day. Only one last place remains. They reach it and finally collect the seawater. But just as they are about to leave, something goes terribly wrong. The container falls, and the seawater spills on the ground. Now their lives are in serious danger. Suddenly, a horse carriage appears in the distance. A man steps out, holding holy water in his hands. He says this is a gift from the queen, and tells them to go back home quickly. At the same time, back at home, the shaman and the uncle are waiting nervously. Suddenly, loud noises come from outside. The shaman tells the uncle to stay inside and goes out to pray in the yard. But suddenly, the lights burst and heavy footsteps begin to approach slowly. The shaman keeps praying, but this time, he cannot escape. His wrist is twisted and broken, and then his head is crushed completely. Hearing the noise, the uncle comes out, but he also meets the same fate. Meanwhile, Xiao Di and his sister finally return home and find the house completely destroyed. There is no time to cry. They quickly pour the seawater over their father's body, but suddenly the lights go out again, and those same heavy footsteps echo around them. Xiao Di tells his sister to keep pouring the water, and he goes outside to find a flashlight, but he has no idea that at that very moment, the demon is standing right behind him. Now the demon is getting closer and closer. Xiao Di quickly tells his sister to continue the purification ritual, while he stays behind to face the demon himself. As the ritual continues, the demon also starts feeling pain. In anger, it rushes into the room and throws his sister outside with great force. She falls badly injured on the ground. Seeing this, Xiao Di runs back into the room and continues the ritual without fear. But the demon is not weak. With just one loud roar, it sends Xiao Di flying across the room instantly. Then it drags his father outside. Now only one last bottle of seawater is left, and everything depends on it. At this critical moment, Xiao Di gets a sudden idea. He throws the bottle hard against the wall. The water splashes everywhere and falls onto his father's body. In that very second, the demon catches fire. Within moments, it burns completely and turns into ashes, disappearing forever. At the same time, on the other side, Vic sees the candles on his altar suddenly go out, and realizes that the curse has been broken. He quickly runs to the shaman to ask for a way to fix things, but the shaman is busy trying to protect himself, because once black magic is broken, the one who used it suffers the consequences. But now, it is too late. Suddenly, the lights go out, and slowly, the demon appears again. In seconds, it tears the shaman into 2 pieces. Vic tries to run for his life, but in the very next moment, the demon bites off his head. In the end, Xiao Di's father finally recovers completely, and he decides that he will never again use or get involved in black magic. This story is based on the dark ritual culture of Java Island. But it is not just about ghosts and demons. It shows the dark side of human nature. The third eye does not just reveal spirits, it also reveals the darkness inside people's hearts. The real source of the curse was never magic. It was human greed that never ends. And this greed is what destroys everything. In the end, the story gives a powerful message. If a person stays true to their heart, they can break free from any fate or curse. So friends, this is where today's story ends. We will meet again in the next story.